front of anyone before. This is a very meaningful story.
You got this, Liz.
It's about shitting my pants in a grocery store. I call it Messy Sobriety. One time in an early sobriety, about a year in, I shit my pants in a grocery store. It was bad. It was real bad, but it was beautiful too. I had just finished a first date with a square-shaped Italian man who wouldn't let up about his fancy Harvard connections. He had short little fat fingers that left a trail of grease on his menu he held. I was hungry, so I decided to stay through the whole dinner. And decided to pass the time by asking him about his family's history of mental illness and addiction. He mostly just wanted to talk about dating a beautiful dancer when he lived in Miami. She was complicated and stubborn, long wavy hair and skin that he described in detail while looking sad. He also told me I must try the seafood gumbo, the oysters, the squash ravioli, and the chocolate mousse torte, so I did. I tried it all, and it was fantastic. By the end, I didn't feel so good. I tried to turn inwards and meditate the cramps inside me away, which helped, but the seemingly inevitable storm inside me calmed, as most storms do. We bid our fake promises to meet up again and part ways, and I walked across the street to the grocery store to buy a plant to soothe my inner critic. I had been on a string of bad dates lately. I never did that whole don't date in the first year. Maybe it was me. My plan was to buy a nice succulent and walk myself over to my friend Sarah's house. I stared at the rows of purple and jade cacti staring back at me, and I picked out a pretty one with a magenta flower on top. Suddenly, I felt another sharp rumble in my stomach, then another. In that moment, I realized I had to run to the closest bathroom I could find. Luckily, I had used it before and I knew exactly where it was, on the other side of the store, past the frozen meat section. And run I did like a flapping wild ostrich, my purse swinging behind me and my arm high in the air holding my cactus. As I ran past all the checkouts in the international section, it started. Loud, sharp sounds coming out of me like a marathon balloon popping. Cashiers and baggers seemed actually frightened and gasped. I wanted to tell them to just let me be, but I had no time for that nonsense. When I got into the bathroom, I busted myself elbow first into the first stall. I had to take my jeans off entirely and put them into the toilet along with my underwear. The horror coming out of me wasn't over yet. As deep whale-like sounds moved through my body and poured out of my mouth. My body shook entirely from the pure shock of what was happening. My jeans were in the toilet, submerged below me, and I felt helpless. I texted Sarah and pleaded with her to come get me and to bring a pair of sweats. And then I heard an older, raspy voice speak from 2 stalls over the handicap stall. Oh, Jesus fucking Christ! What the hell's going on over here? I tensed up, realizing someone had been in there with me the whole time. I'm sick, I said. I'm sorry. I looked down at my legs and underwear floating in the toilet. My legs weren't floating in the toilet. I looked over and I saw a woman sneakered and sockless, hairy legs stretched out into the stall between us. This is what I'll know of her, I thought. Jesus Christ. Oh, I said, I'm sorry, I'm sick. Jesus Christ, that's right, you're sick. It reeks in here. I'm sick too, I got cancer. My mom has cancer. cancer. I'm sorry to hear that. What kind do you have? I got brain and lungs, she said, as though she was reading off a menu. I'm sorry about your mom, hon. You want a drink? I got some. I'm sober now. I heard the liquid swirling around in the bottle, a small twinge of jealousy inside me. My mind went to a flashback of the night I learned that not just one, but both of my parents had cancer. I was on the phone with my dad right down the street from this very toilet. After he told me his prognosis, stage 4 with 6 months survival tops, I marched myself straight into the bar and drank a double whiskey to start the numbing. I had known that my drinking days needed to be over if I was to survive losing both my parents in my 30s. A few days later, I went to my first AA meeting. Sober, huh? Good for you, hun. As I waited for Sarah, my new friend and I talked about the neighborhood, Somerville, cancer, losing parents, drinking. She had a daughter, her daughter's in her 20s now, estranged. She had quit drinking before but hadn't stuck. Now she thought, what's the point? She was dying. That's a good friend you got coming to save your ass. Literally, she said, cracking up. I laughed, it was true. It struck me that she might be all alone, or at least she might feel all alone, and I knew that feeling. I knew she wasn't going to get out of that stall while she was still drinking, and I wouldn't have it either. I took my cactus off the sanitary napkin disposal, put it on the floor, and slid it over to her under the stall. She cursed as she picked it up because she poked herself. And then she said softly, almost whispering, "Ah, thank you, I love these things." My friend Sarah finally breezed into the bathroom with both kindness and disgust on her face. About 20 minutes later, with some sweatpants for me to change into, just as we started to talk about our favorite kind of sandwiches. What's your favorite kind of sandwich? Mine's honey. She said with childlike glee in her voice. I haven't since met anyone whose favorite sandwich was simply honey. We never saw each other that night, but we saw each other. We connected somehow in all the major things in life that were so hard in some way for both of us during that moment in time. I could have easily been in her position if I continued to drink through my parents' cancers. I've been reaching all kinds of new bottoms on a steady train downhill. But hope and pain met me at the station at the same time, and I was able to hear the message of sobriety. I know it's all serious now. Meeting her that night seemed serendipitous, but that's exactly the kind of shit that happens in sobriety. Messy and beautiful, not literally.